Are you overtraining? There's a simple test. I know two really good ones, and I'll just say them right off the bat. First of all, first one is just get out there. Like when you're tired and you feel run down, go do the exercise, but just first 10 to 15 minutes, whatever the warm up, do the proper warm up. And what happens is after 10 or 15 minutes, typically once you're warmed up, you'll know if if you're still wrecked. A lot of times once you warm up, you kind of feel a lot better and you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. This is feeling up for it, And I'd recommend if you are possibly borderline overtraining as well, lay off the stims. When you're on caffeine and stimulants, it can mask your body's natural fatigue level, and that's a good indicator of your body's ability to recover from the training you're doing. So when you take stims, you might do way more than your body can actually even recover. But I would say that's the first one. Get out there, do the 15-minute, even 20-minute warm up. Turn up. See if you're up to doing it, because you're often, a lot of the time, after 10 or 15 minutes, you got the blood flow going, oxygen going, and your body realizes like, oh, okay, it's all right, So that's definitely a big one. Now the second one is what is it again? All right, the second one is basically okay, there's three, but this is the second one. The threshold training, making sure your threshold work isn't too high. Now, if your threshold training is really high, it can be extremely demanding on your recovery ability for other types of training or the threshold work itself. So that's a really big one for, if you're taking a look back at your training. You want to do smart training, that you train and you rest and your body adapts and gets stronger. Now that's the third one, is getting stronger. So you're getting PRs consistently, you're actually improving in the times. So yeah, sometimes threshold work can potentially, if that's all you're doing and you're doing a lot of it, because a lot of people get stuck in the threshold world where they're doing these longer rides or runs, and they're pushing the pace as if they're doing a TT, for these long distances, where, if you do want to go on a long ride, maybe just make it more cruisy, more cruisy. If it's longer than 30 minutes, maybe go a bit cruisy, because maybe it's not really building your fitness capabilities, if you're, for sure, you want to train some threshold. But what I'm trying to say is there's other modalities that, when you're doing threshold training, you might be missing out on. And particularly if you're trying to do them all together, potentially your threshold training could be so demanding that, you're not recovering properly from your other training, your VO2 max training, or your super long distance zone 2 training. You could be fucking up the recovery for both of them, because your 3 and 4, zone 3 and 4 threshold training is way too much. And a lot of people fall into this trap, because the short threshold work, the TT for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's hard work, that's painful. They would rather that, because that's maybe zone 4 or 5 or 3 or whatever, maybe it's closer to 4 or 5. That's really hard work. So they're like, oh, I'll just do this longer ride and go zone 3, because it's not as crazy, but it's longer. But it can really put a demand on the body, and maybe potentially not even give you the benefit you want. Maybe it is better to do in between zone 4, 5 for the threshold work. Really zone 5, 6 for the VO2 max intervals. And then zone 1, even zone 2 might be pushing it, because most people don't know how to go super slow. So when they do zone 2, they're actually doing zone 3, they're pushing it, because everyone, a lot of people, a good athlete knows when to pull back, where a lot of people, when they're doing the, you know, zone 2 easy stuff, they're actually pushing a little bit too hard. So, you know, pulling it back, even focusing on the zone 1 for the extremely long rides, that can help a lot. You know, it can bring, you know, it is demanding when you're doing, you know, 100k or more, you know, zone 1. But what I'm saying is, you know, that has a, you know, specific benefit. You know, the plasma, the fat burning, all that stuff, the relaxation. And then, you know, the zone 3 and 4, it kind of mixes everything together, which you might think is good. It is definitely good to do a bit. I'd say zone 3, 4, you know, the sweet spot is around 20 to 30 minutes, even lower for some. You know, 15 to 30 minutes, to be honest. And then, yeah, the harder stuff, the VO2 max intervals, you know, that you want to be doing about, you know, 3 intervals of 6 minutes, 6-minute break. And you could, you know, depending if you're a beginner, you could do smaller intervals, so maybe, you know, 4 minutes for 4 times. And then as you progress, advanced would be maybe 2 intervals of 8 minutes. That's extremely advanced though. So yeah, I would say, yeah, that's definitely the best tests on overtraining. So you can kind of maybe have a look at your training from what I've said, and you can see, oh, okay, yeah, maybe the zone 3 and 4 is a bit too much. But the other tests, like the warm-up, doing the 10-15 minute warm-up, you know, laying off the stims can mask overtraining. So, you know, stims are okay to use every now and then. But yeah, if you're using it all the time, regularly, daily, it can definitely mask the fatigue and the overtraining. So yeah, I'd say, you know, use all them tips there. If this resonated with you, a whole bunch of other videos, whole bunch of random tips. You know, there's a lot of high quality stuff that a lot of people overlook, but you know, we'll keep the discussion going. If there's anything you add, then just comment it below. I'll try and make another video if you got any points, anything I can learn. And yeah, get out there.
Why were you dehydrated? Why are you dehydrated? Why are you dehydrated? Because not sir. I'll tell you why! Because you're not filling the goddamn water!